what's going on? My name's Joby. I am the DM of The Familiars. Welcome back, everybody. We are so freaking psyched that you're here with us. And we're coming at you with a whole new episode filled with Dungeons and Dragons. We're going to get right into it, but before we do, I just want to make sure that y'all know who's going to be playing with all of y'all. Would you guys like that? I personally would like that, so let me give a little start here with my favorite.
What?
Alex Henderson playing Rooster, our Dragonborn Barbarian. Then we've got Austin Durant playing Thibodeau, our Human Bard. Then we've got Captain Chowder, played by Ben Horner. We've got Annalise playing Worthy, our Tiefling Cleric. We've got John Doherty. He's playing all non-player characters, currently playing Moog, the despondent hill giant filled with hope. And we have Zach Appleman playing Jestán. Ladies and germs, we are the Familiars.
The dad hats.
We're the dad hats. We're totally the dad hats. We're the Familiars. We're so fucking pumped that you're here. I'm so epic pumped. Just swearing here. Just swearing. I can't even stand it. Would you guys want to recap? What?
Hey, Rooster, get out of my room.
Yeah.
Oh, right.
Rooster and Tibbs are switched.
Also, I was hoping
Kicks me out of it.
There we go.
to just share a little something.
Oh, boy.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Tell me more.
Listen,
I'm so sorry.
they run a little small, but don't let that stop you from buying your familiar sweatshirt. Thanks, everybody.
Alex, if I wanted to get one, where would
we go?
Well, you could go to www.thefamiliarsdnd.com/shop probably, but don't quote me on that. No, you can quote me on that last part.
Yeah, it's accurate.
Thanks.
It's a very simple web address.
Yeah, okay. You should go there and buy things. Thank you. Tell a friend.
Thank you, Alex.
Friend. Buy the merch.
Thank you, America and the world. We want to welcome you back to our episode.
It's only Rooster that has a -1 charisma, not me.
Of the Familiars. Alex has maxed out her charisma long ago. Full 20. No magic items needed.
Love you.
Love you. Recap, shall we?
Yeah.
Yes.
Let's recap. So our party finds themselves in the rolling hills of the Desserin Valley amidst a full-on rainstorm. They are in hot pursuit of Gu, the Lord of the Hill Giants, and are now accompanied by their friend, the lovable hill giant Moog, in search of her lost husband, Rook. En route to
It's pronounced Krug.
You heard it here first. En route to Grudd Haug, the lair of the hill giants, where Gu is amassing a horde of hill giant husbands, they spotted bodies running across the hills to the east. Jestán led the group to see another group of barbarians who were in the process of burying their dead. It looked like the Blue Bear tribe, led by Kriega Moonmusk, had happened upon the hill giant retinue as they made their way across the hills, had taken down a few hill giants themselves, but at heavy cost. After some expert negotiating done by the group unfortunately decided to not link up with the Blue Bear tribe and
Yes,
allowed
it was
them.
a decision. It was a decision we made.
A decision that the group made.
We
to not
broke up
link
with them. We broke
with
up
the Blue
with
Bear
them.
tribe.
Yeah.
Don't you mean decision?
Yeah, it was
Yeah.
a decision.
Throwbacks. First person in the chat to name that episode will get a free hoodie. You heard it here first, okay?
That's a
If you can
$40 value.
Name that episode in the chat. You get a free
I
hoodie
knew which one it was.
From Joby.
from me. Directly from me to you.
Time's up.
You didn't get it.
The group made their way north, again trudging through the rain, and they have found themselves here at a campsite.
I like that you're sort of like a weatherman here.
After an adorable interaction between Moog and Worthy, the rain has finally let up, and we have ourselves here north in the wilderness of the Jestán Valley, about to bed down for the night under the protection of Liamon's tiny hut.
Still raining out there, folks, so wear your, wear your goulashes.
Says Thibodeau.
It is still raining?
The rain has just started to dissipate. It is probably your best guess now as the clouds begin to part, and Moog is just staring up at the stars. You can see that it's probably 7 o'clock. A full night's rest, waking up in the morning, probably another full day hike to Grudd Haug.
DM, just out of curiosity, are we in the high forest, or where are sort of on the map? Where are we?
Great. So
Still in the Jestán Valley, right?
You're still in the Jestán Valley, but I can pull up the map for you. Here we are. Oh yeah, and I got this. This is pretty cool. Yeah. So it being nighttime, you can see the pulsating light of the campfire. You're a good ways off, probably about a two-day walk from the edge of the high forest that you can see here.
Okay.
But from as the clouds part, Jestán, you know in the morning that you should be able to get, if it's a clear day, a full view of the Star Mounts and maybe even the Lost Peak off to the north. Mm-hmm. But your path leads right up to the top of the Jestán River, where Jestán has told you that Grudd Haug and Gu and her minions have created a very large settlement that has blocked much of the river's water. But that is for tomorrow. For today, you find yourself bedding down for camp, and I'm going to need a watch order, unless, Cap, you're going to be taking the watch again.
I can watch. That's fine. Everyone, rest easy. Cap's got your back. And does Moog fit in the hut?
Good question. Hey, Tib, what are the dimensions on Liamon's tiny hut?
You can fit 9. What is it? Sorry, one second. I'm going to pull up the. I'm going to go to D&D Beyond here, and pull up the spell description for Liamon's tiny hut. If you're not using D&D Beyond, folks, I don't know what you're doing. It's a really great app that lets you find things really quickly.
10-foot radius. 10-foot radius on Liamon's tiny hut.
It's fuck, I just accidentally cast it again.
Luckily, your DM
10-foot
has your back with a 10-foot radius. And Moog, you can see Moog is trying to find their way in, but Moog,
only medium-sized creatures can fit in there.
I say, hey, as on my way out, I say, hey, come on, Moog. I'll keep you company.
Okay.
Is there a fire in the hut, or is it...
It's magically warmed.
It's magically warm.
Forced air, HVAC system.
Which takes the shape of a little tiny fire. Surrounded by rocks.
We could build we could build a fire in there, I guess.
Yeah. The map had a fire on it. So.
Jestán moves over, he goes over to Worthy, and he still has that pouch of rabbit grease that he had used on Chowder's knee during the beginning of the thing. And he says, he hands it to her, and he says, once your chainmail's dry, use this, keep it from rusting.
Thanks. It's really nice of you. Really decent thing to do. And Worthy kind of looks pointedly over at Rooster.
Great.
And Rooster is taking out all of Rooster's weapons and checking them out, and then says very loudly, "If someone has an issue with Rooster, Rooster is very happy to accept their apology. Just so they know." And keeps just like trying to make their weapons look cool. Extra cool.
Worthy turns back to Jestán and says, "So, you were in the Dragon Wars?"
I was. 5 years ago. Orin and Miros were there too.
What took you back to Golden Fields?
Employment. He starts to go back to his area, and then he stops, and he says, "Your Doom Guide.
Yeah?
You help people cross over to the great beyond."
To the Fugue Plane, yes.
And he says, sort of quietly to her so that the rest of the group doesn't hear, he says, "Orin and Miros, were you with them when they passed?"
I was.
Did they pass well?
They died honorably. Full rites were performed.
He grew up in the church, you know.
Orin spoke about it. Church of Lathander, yes?
Aye. He'd take me fishing sometimes when I passed through. And he'd sing. Constantly. Hymns he'd learned in church as a boy, songs he learned on his travels. I wanted him to shut up. I thought he'd scare away the fish, but he'd just keep on singing. Did you hear him sing ever?
No.
That's a
Did
shame.
get to see him dance, though.
He had quite a gift. And then he sort of... he turns and says, "Good night, Tiefling."
Night, half-elf.
Great. Thibodeau. You want to do anything before you
Yes.
bed down? You look over, you see Rooster doing cool moves with Rooster's weapons.
And then I go like this. And then I go like that.
Maxine
Stab.
is leafing through a book that she's taken out of her pack. Chowder is with Moog out in the dissipating rain. Stars are coming out. Anything you want to do, or do you want to bed down for the night?
I'm just staring into the fire, and I don't know if anyone's looking, but there's just as I get sort of lost, hypnotized by the flame, this image of a woman and a little boy appear in the fire, and I shake it off and I go to bed.
Great. Cap?
Moog, you should absolutely rest up. You've earned it. But I was wondering, do you and your husband have any children?
No, we don't have children. It never really got that far.
Oh, I see. Just curious.
Do you have a children?
I do. I have a daughter, Lydia. She's I can't believe it, but I have to think about it. She's 9.
Oh, that's very little. Where is she?
Well, I don't know, Moog. We're looking for them. Last we heard, Amphail had a lead, and so I hope to, when I can, when the group can help me, make my way out there and see if I can find her. But she's with her mother, and her mother knows how to take care of her.
So we're both looking for family. Maybe they're in Grudd Haug also.
Maybe.
You never know. You never know.
We don't. You're right. You never know. Well, I'll give it a look-see.
Okay.
Thank you, Luke. Good night.
Good night.
Good night, good blarg. Good night.
Great. Everyone begins to bed down, feeling safe that Captain Chowder is going to be taking the watch for the night. Moog sits up against this rock here and slowly begins to fall asleep. Everyone slowly begins to get a full night's rest, knowing that by the end of the day, tomorrow, you will be reaching Grudd Haug. Captain, go ahead and make a perception check. Eight.
Tides of chaos, that.
Knowing that you are deep in the wilderness, I can tell you that there are going to be 3 shifts. So there's going to be 3 times to percept this evening. So go ahead. You can Tides of Chaos this one. But there's something...
God, what does that mean? Oof. Okay. No, I'm going to save Tides of Chaos then. I'll go with the 8 for the first shift.
Moog's snores are not loud enough to be of concern, but are a bit distracting. It's more heavy breathing, I'd say.
Okay.
And you don't feel...
little apnea, maybe.
Perhaps. Make a medicine check.
Four.
Can't tell. Might be something worse. Always good to be worried.
I'm a toy man. What can I say? I'm a toy man.
Cap says to the night air.
I'm a toyman, not a doctor.
The first part of the night passes without issue. Go ahead and make the second perception check of the evening.
Okay, better.
Good.
14 for the podcast.
You feel confident now. Moog seems to have passed into REM sleep. And things are better.
Right before the night terrors.
Yeah, so I've been watching him for a couple hours.
Yeah.
Hey, Moog, before you go to sleep, do you mind if I watch? Is that okay?
Strange.
Is that a boundary? Continue, DM.
Thank you. You now have your head on more of a swivel. You can hear a bit of soft wind that is probably the tail end of the storm passing overhead. maybe the telltale sign of another one to come tomorrow. You don't know. It's a little crunch off to one side. Bit startling. You take a look, but it just seems to be a small animal, squirrel of some sort. But there's something that doesn't sit right. But this passage of the evening also goes without issue. Go ahead and make the last perception check. That'll take us to the morning.
Okay, I'm gonna Tides of Chaos this
Yeah.
one.
That was a 3.
That was a 3.
Jesus.
10.
Okay.
I hate it when Joby gets quiet.
I know. Something bad's gonna happen.
I cast fireball. Just indiscriminately.
In your sleep.
I just
a
start
random
stabbing.
direction.
I start stabbing everything.
Cap. Your mind begins to wander. The conversation with Moog brings on the memories that are easier to keep at bay during the daytime, but at night tend to flood. And you find yourself just desperately wondering, where are they? Are they thinking of me? Are they okay? Do they believe that I'm alive? It's the torturous cycle of questions that have no answer, that this late in the evening, even though in this form you don't need to sleep, you just let them come. And it's not until the sounds are very close now that you hear them. And you look up and you see off to the side, just past the trees, one large figure moving probably 60 feet away from you. Luckily, Liamon's tiny hut is an opaque black, and you are on the other side of it. But over the top, what you can see is the head of a male hill giant. As you look around, you can also see another larger figure, not as big as the hill giant, next to it, which looks to be an ogre. And there are two folk next to them that look like goblins. However, they are full humanoid size. Medium, not small. And they walk with a strong, upright stature. And they seem to be deep in conversation. Based on my rolls, they haven't seen you. But you do recognize hobgoblins when you see them.
Hobgoblins.
And then finally, behind them, you see 3 more humanoids dressed in what looks to be sturdy leather armor with pieces of metal and plate in places on the shoulders and across the breast and along the outsides of the thighs, carrying these long curved blades. And you can see 3
humans or
humanoid,
humanoids?
and
okay.
you recognize 3 orcs, 2 hobgoblins, 1 ogre, all following behind this large hill giant, making a ton of noise. At this very moment, not seeing you.
Okay.
And you can hear,
We should just take the food and the livestock for ourselves. We should eat it all.
"No way! Shut up! It's so stupid! When Moog is in the top of the ordning, you'll have all the food that you can eat. You remember what happened to the last creatures that stole food from Moog?
No, I don't.
Well, those Ettins that chopped off 2 of their heads and then sent the other 2 into the hills and banished them. So shut up and bring the food back to Goo. Alright?
Yes, we should bring it back to you.
That's right, now keep walking.
Yes. Grr, not Moog.
Right.
Monosyllabic words are very difficult.
That's, come on, someone
I'm very tired.
give him
Shut
that.
up!
Can we get a SAG award at least?
Shut the fuck up!
John Doherty, please. John Doherty, SAG award. Eligible,
MVP.
SAG eligible. This is what you hear.
Are they like walking past us or like towards us?
Yes.
Are we
Yes.
in their path?
They're walking. It looks to be just past you.
Okay. I'm gonna do nothing and sit completely still.
All right. The hobgoblins, are going to make one last perception check.
Damn it.
Oh. You haven't made. Will I be able to see what it is?
No.
No, that's
yeah.
not how this works.
No, because
I'll make it.
I can bend luck.
I'll say that
want me to
you're
talk to
watching
them?
them. You're watching them. So they're going to make one perception check. And Chowder, why don't you first roll a stealth check?
Attaboy, Chowder.
16.
It just kind of shut down.
They stop.
I'm going to bend my luck. I'll go ahead and bend that luck. I'm going to add 3 to my score, please.
Bringing your 16 to a 19. Can you bending luck? Is that a spell, or is that an ability?
It's an ability. It's a state. It's a state of mind.
Very special set of
It's a
skills.
silent. I have to get very still and not make any noise.
Just with sheer force of will, I can change a little bit of luck.
You see the hobgoblins stop, and the rest of the hill giants stop. The ogres stop, and one of these hobgoblins hops up onto this rock here.
Oh no.
And you can see the hobgoblin sniff the air.
Quiet, all of you. I think I heard something. Smells like
Chowder, you're very still. Hold your breath. And see. Right. Hold your not breath, you warforged son of a robot.
I think I heard your Boston there. Yeah.
Yeah. And you see the hobgoblin turn the other way.
Oh my god.
There's nothing.
And make their way off the map. All right. There we go. Chowder, after your adrenaline
Poor Nelly.
dissipates,
Whoa, Nelly.
the rest of the night passes without issue.
Oh, thank you, King Jeebus.
And you all find yourself in the morning.
A long rest?
Long rest. Everyone gets a long rest.
Well, gang, I've got some news.
What's up,
Yes.
Cap?
Yes. Speak on it.
Well, in the night during the watch, when it grew very late, I stood by as a procession of giants, ogres, hobgoblins, bugbears, you know the like, marching. I stood stock still. I shut myself down, and they didn't see me. One hobgoblin came close, but he turned around and left. And they said they were bringing all the poison back to Goo. They debated the point, but they settled on bring it all to Goo. So I think this is a good sign.
So everything's still in motion then.
Sounds like it.
Well, that's good. That's real good.
All right, and we're just a few hours behind them. If we keep our distance a bit, we may have a front row seat to the glorious death of Goo. The sea is foaming at the mouth.
Not Moog. Goo, not Moog.
Goo.
Goo,
No,
yeah.
not our blah blah.
Blug. We protect our blug at all costs. I look up at
Yes,
Moog at all costs. Oh, damn your naming system. All right.
And I look over at the rocks where Moog is sleeping, and I notice these like gory-looking, bloody mud smears, and I ask what I point at it and say, what is that?
Moog made art so Moog could remember us in the morning.
Oh, it's. I have no words.
I do. I think it's beautiful folk art. Really, when art comes from the heart and not from the market, I think you can tell. So I really appreciate this.
Very sweet.
These pictographs. Yeah,
It's
yeah.
so sweet.
So nice.
Worthy, what's the giant word for beautiful?
Irate.
Gummy bears.
I point over at the paintings and look up at Moog and I say, gummy bears.
Gummy bear. Gruchtug. And you can see Moog is sort of studying the pictographs, and you can see the wheels sort of very slowly turning. And he knows who you are. She knows who you are. Jesus.
SAG eligible, John Doherty.
Something. I'm eligible for something. I'm not sure what it
Eligible
is.
for something, All right.
Oh man.
Excellent. So, what do you guys want to do? The day is yours. Are we? What's the plan?
We're feeling good.
Beach day, picnic.
Beach day.
Do we need a family meeting?
How far are we now?
Is Moog Banksy?
You're about a full day.
Full day, so we would arrive. End of the day, late afternoon, evening. We'd get to Grudd Haug, ideally. And how's the weather looking?
See if we get scooting.
You take a look up, and it looks like you've had a break in the storm. So, make a nature check.
Ooh, my. All right. And I would add my proficiency bonus to this wonderful one. I'd double the proficiency bonus.
Yeah. Great. Okay.
Yeah.
So you get.
It's just the weather. It's unpredictable.
Exactly. Yeah, you have no real clue exactly what's going to happen. Nobody does in our world, and seems like in Faerun it's similar. That being said, it looks to be fairly clear, and it looks like it's going to stay fairly clear for the majority of at least the morning until maybe midday. That's as best you can tell. But it doesn't. Off in the distance, you do see the possibility that it could turn to rain. We'll see. We'll see which way the dice roll.
We all ready to set out?
Yes.
Yes.
Aye.
And Jestán, as they're getting ready to go, he grabs a bunch of sort of pine boughs from that nearby tree and stuffs them in his bag.
Okay. Grabbing some pine
What's that for?
boughs.
Yeah, what's with that? Should we do that too?
Why you do this?
Yeah.
And how close
Rooster
are we to, how
starts
close
just
are we
like
to,
pulling on
Just
the pine
grabbing.
boughs.
how close
Me
are we to the
too.
river? Are we still going along the river? Or no?
Yeah. You're not far from the river. I'd say, you're probably a 5 or 10 minute walk away from the banks.
I would like to, as I'm leading them, we're going to make a stop at the river.
Mm-hmm.
And as we get towards the river, take out the pine boughs, and I go to the banks of the river, and the banks of the river, the mud there is this really dark kind of red clay. And I look at the group, and I sort of say to them, all right, we're traveling on open grasslands. There's no cloud cover. Anything that shines, anything that's metal, it's going to glint, it's going to give us away. Take some mud, put it on your armor, put it on your weapons. He looks at Thibodeau. We're going to have to do something about your pretty white clothes.
Man, oh man.
And you see Jestán starting to sort of like the few little metal buckles he has, he's sort of rubbing them down with this mud. Okay. And he's especially looking at Worthy, who's sort of a walking piece of chrome. You want to do it yourself, or you want me to help you?
Do it myself, thanks. And where they kind of just like back into the mud, snow angels, pancakes over onto the other side, rubs her shield in.
And I'm assuming I look at Rooster's weapons that are just caked with blood and probably have never been cleaned, and I'm like, you're good.
And Rooster decides each day Rooster gets to choose the beast soul that Rooster wants to do, and so Rooster jumps in and swims. Rooster is swimming today.
Okay, great. And what does that look like?
Rooster can swim. Oh, graceful.
It's a beaver.
Just, no, really, I think it looks like an alligator. I think it looks like or an iguana. Like I think that Rooster takes to water actually with a, the only times I think Rooster looks very graceful are when Rooster is raging and when Rooster is swimming. I think there is a true animalistic comfort to it. And I think probably the smell that goes off my body is a comfort to everyone as well, because I think I real stink. And right now, I smell like a daisy flower. And I think I get out and pick a daisy flower and give it to Maxine and go, I have not forgotten you. Just so you know.
Thibodeau, are you putting some mud on your white clothes?
I'm actually going to take them off, fold them up, And
Toss them in the BOH.
yeah, throw them in the bag of holding, which you can buy on the Familiars website. Don't rip it. Don't rip it.
Don't. We will sue you. We know people that know lawyers.
But I'm going to change into that wizard costume that I made.
Oh, nice.
And what's that look like?
It's heavy homespun hemp linen. It's brown, and there's like a big floppy, like wide brimmed hat that
Great.
goes on it.
Awesome.
And I take my wig off also, so I'm just like this bald,
Whoa.
mustachioed.
Whoa.
Tibbs, you look great.
That's not your hair.
Whoa!
No.
You look amazing. I don't know why you wear that dumb wig. You look so handsome. I am confused.
Lies
And I am
upon
bisexual.
lies upon lies.
So,
I thought you've seen me. Natural.
yeah, but not like this. You look fantastic.
Thank you.
Very brave.
Thank you. And I put my floppy brown hat back on.
Even for
How's
a
everyone-
liar.
How's everyone looking, Jestán?
They're looking good, and
a little
then
nut.
I walk up to Worthy sort of privately, and I hand her these pine boughs, and I say, I sort of whisper it to her because I don't want to embarrass her. I say, crush them up in your hands, rub them all over your skin. It'll hide the sulfur. They'll smell it. But I do it discreetly. I don't want the group to hear. I don't want to make a thing of it.
Thank you. And
Aye.
could you see a deep, deep, shameful blush on Worthy's skin? You would see one right now. But she crushes up the pine and rubs it on her skin and face and just all over.
Great.
And then Brewster goes up to Jestán and goes, "Hey, Hotshot, what are we gonna do about that?" And then points up to Moog.
Moog is making sculptures of the moon with the mud and sticks.
You mean the smell?
The smell, the height, the
Girth.
skin,
Well, if we're lucky, her smell will mask ours.
Okay.
And, in terms of the size, unless you want to do something with that axe, I think we're a bit stuck.
Hey, Jestán, just so you know, once the killing starts, I'm gonna kick your ass.
You're welcome to it. And
One
he...
Next-
moon bowl,
Wait, what?
2 moon bowls, 3 moon
Next
bowls.
scene has been next to you, Rooster, just
What are you
holding
two
the flower
knuckleheads
you
talking
gave
about?
her. Yeah. Just like, oh, Rooster. Rooster, you would have fit right in with the whispering ghosts, I can say that.
Oh, Maxime. My heart. Thank you.
Of course. Jestán, shall we?
Onwards. Wait, does Cap need anything?
yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, I've caked it in the fur.
Good.
Oh, it's all right. I'll just take it off. I can take it off and wash it. It's all right.
Y'all look like rangers.
Great.
Well, let's get going.
All right. And just so I know, and America and the world knows the plan, are we heading straight to Grudd Haug, or are we heading to the cave with the hill giant wives amidst?
We're still heading to Grudd Haug, yes?
Yes.
Grudd Haug.
I thought so. Yeah.
To do reconnaissance.
Yeah, Jestán's plan is to lead them to sort of the area that he's surveyed before, where they have sort of a view of it from some trees
at
that are
a
far enough
distance.
away that we're not like...
Okay.
Take it from there.
Fantastic. All right. You guys set out for the day's hike. And it's a welcome respite from the rain. And there's a feeling and a sense of rejuvenation and newness. You can smell the grass and the soil that has soaked up the storm from yesterday. And The hills glisten with the dewdrops from the passing storm, and they just look a bit greener, renewed, as it were. And it almost does away with any anticipation or nerves that you may have knowing that Grudd Haug is soon approaching. The first part of the day passes without issue, and you are making it to...
I'm not going to pretend that you didn't just say issue.
You said it's you. I'm so mad.
Such blatant ambition.
Can we not give notes during the game, please?
Right.
Thank
sorry.
you. Yes, I thought
It wasn't a note. It wasn't a note.
was a note.
Recognition of beautiful diction and
Plasticity.
yeah.
Joby, where can people
Plasticity and
learn
diction.
that sort of diction from you?
www.thefamiliarsdnd.com.
Send
Go
us
ahead.
an email.
Send us an email. I'll get right back to you. You make it to this. It's hard, Jestán. Well, first of all, I guess Jestán, make a perception check. This time without disadvantage. It is not raining.
Thank God. And
11.
we add my bonus to that.
Plus a 6, bringing it up to a 17.
Oh, damn.
You take a moment. You know this land well. Off to the east, you can see the high forest. Off to, let's get the sun up here. The west, the Desserin River. The full, I believe it's the, is it? Yes, you're following basically this fairly large but tributary of leading into the larger Desserin River. You can see the full scope of it. All of you can now. Off to the east, this large, wide, seemingly just full river passing in between these larger, now almost mountains, cutting its way across the landscape. And to the north, you see a farmhouse, pointing out to the group. And a few of these lone farmhouses have dotted the landscape as you've made your way north. And this one is the biggest one that you've seen. It looks to be a few stories, and there is a barn off to one side, and there is smoke coming out from the chimney top of this two-story, fairly almost regal building. This one stands out. It seems to have been made by someone who really took a lot of care in the aesthetic appearance of this place. You know this to be the farm of Bertram, Pippa, and Grayson Millstone. Grayson, the patriarch, is the father of Bertram and Pippa, and they are Waterhavian expats, as it were. They have tried to not call upon aid, but being the city dwellers that they are, occasionally have flagged you down on your ranging. And as you're looking at this farm, you can see that there are these cornfields, where they obviously grow their corn, that have been stripped with these like long, unnatural lines of just empty soil. And it being the sort of late spring onset of the summer, You know this is not harvest time, and no folk would harvest their corn in such a slapdash manner. Even city folk like Grayson and his 2 kids.
Does it look like the giant horde has passed through? That's the sort of gashes that it looks like?
Good question. It doesn't look like they have sort of just trampled over this. It looks like this is one of the farms that has been ransacked for its food.
Yeah.
The buildings look to be in place, but the field looks to be just picked in a unorganized way. Sort of these like little sort of weird spots of just ripped up ground and fallen plants.
How far?
It's not far. I'd say it's probably about you've sort of come up onto this rise. You're looking at it about a mile away. Probably about a half an hour walk out of the way from where you are, or you could keep going north.
I say to the group, something's not right at that farm. Damn it.
What? Oh, what? What's wrong?
You can just see that Jestán looks uncomfortable. They're friends.
And you said there's a fire coming out of the chimney?
Yes.
Well, by the looks of it, they're still holed up inside and cooking breakfast or something.
He says to the group, this isn't your job. It's not what you hired me to do. Keep going north. I'm going to check on them. I'll catch up with you. I move faster anyway. I'm not going to ask you to come.
You have friends.
Is that a surprise?
Yes.
He says, it's not your business. You don't have to. I'll go. Make sure they're okay. I'll catch up.
We're coming. You want to go? I want to go.
Just a
I like people.
A wellness check?
Let's do a wellness check. This is not Jestán.
We do those all the time.
It's like a half an hour. I feel like you're making it like it's like not that big a deal. Like we'll come with you. Yeah, of course.
Yeah, let's go.
Yeah, I would love to kill something. Honestly.
Take
got
it
your
from
back.
me, this group really doesn't let you leave them behind.
Yeah, no, we're very codependent.
All right.
According to my therapist.
He sort of grumbles. Thank you.
Sure thing.
And
Yes.
he walks. He sort of leads them towards the farmhouse.
As you guys are walking,
Approaching cautiously and slowly. And I think with a nice sort of stealth bonus now that we're all camo. Come on, DM?
So like an advantage maybe.
I think we're a little extra sneaky now after what I did.
Absolutely.
Oh my gosh, we have the best DM.
Yeah.
So I just so deeply.
Got corn cobs in my hat.
Where did Thibodeau go?
Fantastic.
Do the thing where we like pick up a bush as a skirt and like
Yes. Down.
As you guys approach, you can see that the clouds have come in overhead.
Ah, nuts.
And off in the distance, you can hear thunder. There's no rain yet, but you know that it's coming. You find yourselves looking at a farm.
Wow.
There's the barn, a scarecrow. And I'll say that you came in through one of the more intact bits of the cornfields and are now all hiding out. Where's Moog, by the way?
Oh, Moog.
He's. I think he.
She.
cheese.
She hung back. She's hanging
Yeah.
back in sort of the more hilly terrain. She's not gonna come all up in the farm and get involved in all that.
Okay.
She gets it.
Says Chowder, looking back at Moog, who is now. I just imagine, if you guys know the children's book like Ferdinand, like I imagine Moog just like underneath the one tree, just kind of having picked a flower, looking wistfully off in the direction of Grudd Haug.
Yes.
Um,
That is exactly what she is doing.
fantastic.
And what is her name?
Moog.
Moog. Thank you, Wizards of the Coast. Fantastic. You guys have made it out now, too.
Method acting. Like Moog forgets everything when she wakes up, and I just forget everything.
Exactly, right. Yeah.
Going full Daniel
So I'll put you guys on the map here.
Gotta go make shoes.
Yeah. Here you guys are. Okay. So we'll just
Cool of us
imagine
to
that there
stand in that line.
are some
Let's hold hands.
No.
Right?
No.
Thanks, DM.
so this is what you see.
I don't do that.
What would
that's
you like
a nice
to do?
place.
Do I see anything amiss? Do I see any traces of other people besides the family that I know here?
Make a perception check.
Okay.
Ooh,
22.
22.
22 for the podcast.
Wow.
You can see that the front door is slightly ajar. You can see, as you look down, there are tracks. Obviously, you can see that there were a few hill giants that made their way through this part of the farm, obviously. But then you see smaller humanoid tracks that looked like there was some amount of chaos and then running back to the house.
I'd like to quietly approach the door.
Great.
Or the closest sort of door or window that I could see in stealthily.
All right. Make a stealth check. $25.
25 for the podcast.
Not bad. I'll say you make it all the way up to the fence. And what's cool about these maps, thank you, Baylor Wiki, is that you can see through where you can see through.
Oh, look at
wow.
those maps.
Oh my gosh.
So these are windows.
Whoa.
That's insane.
Here's the
Wait,
open-
and if
Daily
you like,
Wiki.
move the token, does that like move the perspective?
Shut up, Ben.
Sorry, did I mess it up? I messed it up.
It's
Oh no, it's true! Oh my God! Oh, I enhanced it.
nice.
Wow. Okay.
Jestán, you look in,
Yeah.
and you can see the empty house of Grayson and his kids. The door is left open, and from what you can see here, there doesn't look to be anyone inside.
I say to the group, "It's empty," and I move to sort of look inside, to go inside.
Okay. You step inside.
Jestán he's sort of singularly focused right now. He's not even really paying attention to what the group is doing.
Yeah,
He's
I'm gonna-
yeah, I'm like catching up with him.
Hustle to catch up a little bit too.
Okay. Great. While you guys are coming up. Jestán. Come up. And we're in the house. There are steps that lead up to the second story, and steps that lead down to the basement. I'll say that you haven't been inside the house before. Any conversation that you've had with Grayson has taken place outside. And it's pretty stunning coming in and seeing such a well-to-do home. The furniture looks like it's straight out of some of the nicest cities that you've ever ventured into, the few times that you've ventured into them. There are plants inside that look to be well tended to. There's a piano off to the left. There's the head of a great stag above the fireplace, in which you can see a burning fire, although it's burning down to its embers.
Is my stealth check still valid at the moment?
Yes.
Okay, I'd like to look upstairs and downstairs,
Okay, great.
assuming that I still have that lovely 25 stealth check.
Are you going upstairs first or downstairs first?
Upstairs.
Okay. Great. You head upstairs, and slowly but surely you make your way up to the second floor.
Do we get any kind of feeling on the outside about what's going on? Like, have we gotten to the door yet?
Make a perception check.
Okay.
Yeah, are we like making our way inside now?
Yeah, I'd say so.
14.
22.
22. Looking around, all's quiet at the moment. And you can hear Jestán, well, it's hard to hear Jestán. He's being very quiet. You know that he's gone inside. Jestán, you find yourself upstairs. There are a few doors here that you can open if you'd like.
I'm going to open them.
Okay. Open one. Looks to be a room with bunk beds. Well made. Doesn't look to have been slept in any time recently. Another one. More. Nothing. A washroom. You make your way down. You can see a sitting area. There are more stag heads pinned up onto the walls, and there looks to be a small library. Putting up here, you can see what looks to be the master bedroom.
Look like anyone's recently been there?
Yes. This looks to have been slept in recently. The bed now is unmade. There are 2 lit candles that are burning down to the nubs, and there is another fire burning bright in another fireplace on the second floor.
Okay. He's going to make his way downstairs, but he's sort of not worrying about the stealth stuff anymore, and he starts calling out, Grayson! Pippa! Bertram!
Nothing.
Can I,
And he's going to check he checks the downstairs.
You go through the downstairs, calling out. No one seems to be answering.
Yeah, he's not. He's abandoned stealth now. He's sort of.
You all outside can hear him calling out, opening doors, looking in. Doesn't seem to be anyone about.
I yell out, check the barn.
Rooster kind of nods to Cap and goes, "Shall we?"
Go!
Great.
Run over to the barn.
Yep. Open it up.
Why don't you call their names, Cap?
That's just mean.
You know them. You got this.
You walk into the barn, and you see that there are stalls for animals. It looks like horses, but there are no horses to be found. The stalls look like they are recently stocked with fresh food, but they're, you take a gander into one of the stalls, Rooster, and you can see that there is also fresh muck that has yet to be mucked out. So
This
there's
muck is fresh.
Bertram! Pippa!
Those are their names, which is so impressive, Cap.
Grayson Millstone!
Grace, that's pretty good, but wow, I'm sort of taken aback.
Millstone of Womford!
Did I check the Did I check like the
Cap.
cellar and everything too?
So
Cap, this muck is fresh. Do you want to look around for any kind of like hidden doors or something like that, Cap? You can do that with your magic, right?
yeah.
Oh, yeah, I want to detect... I want to detect magic in here.
Great, Cap. Go ahead
Whip out
and
my
detect
wand.
magic.
Alohomora.
You. Nothing seems to be pinging for you. Jestán, you head down the steps. And there are 3 figures huddled in the basement.
I want to put on my domino mask of Kelimfor that allows me to detect undead.
Okay, Worthy, you do that.
Hey, wow.
Jestán, you come around the corner, and having done away with your stealth, make a dexterity saving throw.
Uh-oh. Oh, we're fine. This is 26 for the
26.
podcast.
All right.
You come around the corner and immediately see a flash on what looks to be a blade. You jump back and see, just in the nick of time, another slash come at you. But they're coming at you low, and you just start dodging left to right. And finally, you recognize that this is a young 12-year-old boy that is holding and shaking a small dagger and says, "Get away! You get away! You don't just."
And I immediately kneel. I say, "It's all right. It's me. It's Jestán. It's Jestán. It's all right. It's all right. It's me. Where's your sister?"
She looks back and Pippa says, "Oh, Dad, it's Jestán. Look, I think we're going to be okay." And you look back.
You hear a man's voice, and the voice says, Jestán,
Grayson.
what the hell are you doing here?
I was passing by with a group and I saw something wrong with your fields. Are you all right?
Jesus Christ, I thought you were an orc or an ogre or a goblin or something. My kid almost slit your throat.
I'm all right. God, come upstairs. Get out of here. Come on.
No, we can't go up. We can't go up.
We can. It's safe. I've checked it out.
Yeah, but the Lord's Alliance came riding through here yesterday morning bearing the red flags, and they all told us if they bear the red flags, you got to stay in the cellar or the basement or somewhere that's safe until they tell you it's okay to come up.
What are you talking about?
Didn't you hear that? That's what they said from Waterdeep. But the giant threat and the like. If they have the red flags out, you got to find shelter in a basement or somewhere that's safe. And then if they fly the green flags, if the riders come through, flying the green flags, and the threat is over, safe to come out. Did you not hear this? Where have you been? In a hole in the ground?
Yeah, come upstairs. I've got a Lord's Alliance memo with me. We can ask him.
Well, you have?
God, I'm just glad you're safe. I was worried something happened.
Well, something has happened. Well,
You guys
slew of
all-
giants came in through here.
Head upstairs. And
Come on,
And I-
kids, it's all right. Come on.
I yell to the group. I say, I found him. It's all right.
I head into the house.
Oh, thank goodness.
All right, kids, it's all right. You can trust
Grayson,
me.
these are friends of mine.
you see
How are you? How are you?
the whole party comes out, and you see this family. The father looks to be an older human, gray hair, but with a tall, almost stately gait as he walks out. And the two children, a young boy of about 12, a young girl of about 9, come out and see first you, Cap, and say, "Oh, look, it's a giant panda!" And
That's right, kids. I'm Captain Chowder.
"Oh, I can talk!" And the young girl says, "Oh, Dad, look! Oh, it's a bit of the Lord's Alliance, I think. He's got, but they're all covered in mud." And the young boy says, "Well, where are the?" And they look out to the fields, and you can see that they're seeing the devastation for the first time. And the young girl looks at her father and says, Da, where are the animals?" The young boy sort of brings his sister close.
It's all right. We'll get him back. I promise. Jestán, why are you all covered in mud? Who? A fine group of traveling companions you got here, huh?
I'm on the job. And he sort of laughs. He says, we're tracking a large band of giants up to Grudd Haug. They come through here?
Same one that you're tracking, but there was a whole slew of giants come through here early in the morning last night. 3-4 a.m.
That was them. That was the troop that I saw.
Grabbed a whole bunch of livestock from here.
When did the Lord's Alliance come through?
Yesterday evening. They sent a rider up the road there from south direction of Waterdeep. He was bearing a red flag. And so we took that to mean get down, get to safety, get under cover, and I took my kids downstairs and been there ever since.
There was a messenger?
Aye, a rider, yeah.
I was hoping they'd sent a bloody army. Well, I'm glad you're safe.
Yeah, you too, friend. So,
Yeah.
Why are you going north there? Where did you say? Grudd Haug? What is it?
We know why they've been raiding and pillaging more than usual. They're bringing collections back to their leader, Lady Goo. Trying to fatten her up part of a new ordning. Hopefully we're going to put an end to it.
A new what? What was that?
He turns to the group and says, "You understand this better than I do."
The ordning is, well, it's the order of power in the giant world. The hill giants are at the bottom currently and making a strong push to take power from those above them. Their leader, Gu, thinks that they can take that power by becoming the biggest, fattest giant that the world's ever seen. And we're on our way up to Grudd Haug to put an end to it.
Grayson, I hate to ask anything of you, but have you heard anything, seen anything that could help us?
I think so, Jestán. There's been giant raids all up and down the valley, from south in Womford and barge right in, all the way up north to Everland. The whole tract of land, there's been giants roaming back and forth, stealing livestock, killing farmers, and worse. So, if you're going to put a stop to it, I wish you good luck, but I can't give you any bit of information other than that. I don't know, I've just been trying to survive and protect me children here.
That's all you can do. Well, I'm glad you're safe. You need anything? Weapons? Food?
We got food in the storage room downstairs. We'll be alright for a few weeks.
All right.
Glad you're safe, sir.
That's fine, yeah.
He turns to the group and he says, "Thank you for checking with me." And he turns back to Grace and he says, "We're going to be on our way, but when we're done, God's willing, I'll come back and see you again.
Aye. And he kind of takes Jestán aside, away from the group so they can't hear him, and he says, Jestán, I hate to be a buzzkill here, but a few days ago there was some black riders in black, Zentarum, I think they were. And they asked us if we had seen a party that was matching the description of your traveling companions here, and obviously I hadn't, but I hope you know what you're doing. Stay safe is all.
Jestán sort of, his heart sinks, and he says, I don't think I'll be coming back then. You didn't see me. You never saw me. I'm sorry. And he gives a few little strips of dried meat to the kids. And he says, you obey your pa now. I'll see you soon.
Okay, Jestán. Yeah, we will. Thank you, Jestán. Thank you.
Hey kids, come on back. And he kind of...
Oh, Dad, I don't want to go inside. I've been inside all night.
Not around these people. They're leaving us. Come on. You're safe with me.
And Jestán says to the group, we have to go now. And he walks out the door and he just says, fucking Zentarum.
Get some news.
They're looking for us, still.
Oh.
No one can know we were here.
Right.
And I lead the group back onto the path we were going. Just pissed.
All right. You guys keep going, and throughout the day, the rain now is fully falling about you. And the further north you go, you start seeing that a lot of the trees have been cut down. Almost any trees that you've seen now are no longer there, they're just stumps. It gives a strange, barren feeling to the Desserin Valley. Even though there were wide open parts of it, it still seemed to be fairly lush. And eventually, you make it over the crest of one last hill, and off in the distance, you see it. Grudd Haug.
It's gonna be hard to sneak to.
Anybody who speaks giant now knows why the settlement is called Grudd Haug. It means river mound in giant. And it looks like a beaver dam that straddles the river. The lower level is lodged between two rocky outcroppings and made of piled timber with clay and mud. And there are hollow cavities that resemble caves. And above is piled timber. This piled timber foundation is a mud steading. And the thing that sticks out to anybody, I'll even say that Maxine steps forward and says, giants. I've never seen or heard of giants making anything like this before. It's such an advanced structure. How could they? And all of you see that in this lower section here, there are anywhere from a dozen to 24 humanoids that look to be hobgoblins, orcs, all busy tending to a massive amount of livestock. Sheep, it looks to be, on the outside.
Are they familiar-looking sheep?
Make a perception check. No. And this imposing structure, you can see now coming out of this door here. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, I mean, all hill giants, all male, looking to come down and begin to take what looks to be large handfuls of sheep back into this structure. And after reaching Grudd Haug, that is where we're going to leave it for this week, ladies and germs.
Oh my god.
Thank you all so much for joining us. We have finally made it. We will pick up next week with the recon mission, checking out to see exactly what's going on here in Grudd Haug. Thank you so much for joining us. We are the Familiars. Please do check us out on all the social medias and the YouTubes and the Twitches and our website with a sweet store if you want one of those awesome hoodies. Highly recommend. They run small, but come on, isn't that what you want?
Okay.
It's what I want.
Size up. Size up.
Yeah, just to get a size up.
Size up.
It's really comfy.
Super comfy. And I'm comfy. Y'all are comfy. You, I hope, are still comfy because our intent is all for your delight. Have a great week, y'all. Until next week. Peace!